Understood. Here is the exact text repeated as you requested. William Ewart Gladstone, 1809 to 1898, was a prominent British statesman and leader of the Liberal Party. Here's an overview of his life, career, and key contributions. Early life and background. Born on December 29, 1809, in Liverpool, Gladstone came from a prosperous merchant family. He was educated at Eton College and the University of Oxford. Political career. Gladstone's political career began when he was elected as a Member of Parliament, MP, for the Conservative Party in 1832. Key roles and achievements. Gladstone switched from the Conservative to the Liberal Party due to policy differences. He held various cabinet positions, including Chancellor of the Exchequer. Prime Ministerial terms. Gladstone served as Prime Minister 4 times, from 1868 to 1874, 1880 to 1885, February to July 1886, and 1892 to 1894. Liberal reforms and policies. Gladstone was known for his commitment to liberalism and social reforms. He championed the expansion of voting rights, including the Reform Act of 1867, which extended suffrage to a broader section of the population. Home Rule for Ireland. One of his defining policies was advocating for Irish Home Rule, seeking to grant Ireland a degree of self-governance within the United Kingdom. Foreign policy. Gladstone focused on non-intervention and peace in foreign affairs. He was against military interventions and imperial expansion. Legacy. Gladstone's legacy includes his contributions to liberal reforms, voting rights, and his principled stance on issues like Irish Home Rule. His commitment to social justice and non-intervention in foreign affairs left a lasting impact on British politics. Death. William Ewart Gladstone died on May 19, 1898. Parliamentary reforms. 1. Second Reform Act, 1866. Gladstone initiated efforts to pass the Second Reform Act, which aimed to expand voting rights and increase the number of people eligible to vote. 2. Secret Ballot Act, 1872. This act introduced the secret ballot system, ensuring private voting and reducing potential influence or coercion. 3. Third Reform Act, 1884. The act extended voting rights further by granting the franchise to rural agricultural labourers, making representation more inclusive. 4. Redistribution of Seats Act, 1885. This act redistributed parliamentary seats to reflect population changes and ensure more equal representation. Educational reforms. 1. Primary Education Act, 1870. This act marked a significant step in providing elementary education to children, aiming to improve literacy and access to basic education. 2. University Test Act, 1871. Gladstone's government repealed religious tests for entry to universities, promoting more inclusive higher education. 3. Education Act, 1880. This act made primary education compulsory for children, strengthening the foundation of public education. 4. Reform in secondary and college education, 1882. Gladstone's administration introduced further reforms to improve the quality and accessibility of secondary and college education. Social reforms. 1. Trade Union Act, 1871. This act, often attributed to Prime Minister William Ewart Gladstone's administration, granted legal recognition to trade unions and provided certain rights and protections for their activities. 2. Licensing Act of 1872. Also associated with Gladstone's government, this act aimed to regulate the sale of alcoholic beverages by introducing new licensing laws and addressing issues related to alcohol consumption. 3. Burials Act, 1880. This act, introduced during the premiership of William Gladstone, aimed to address issues related to the disposal of human remains in urban areas and provided for more organised and regulated burials. 4. Employers' Liability Act, 1880. Again, attributed to Gladstone's government, this act established the principle of compensation for employees injured during the course of their employment. 5. Agriculture Holdings Act, 1883. This act was introduced during Gladstone's administration and aimed to provide security and rights to agricultural tenants. Judicial and administrative reforms. 1. Government Services Act, 1870. This act, associated with Gladstone's time as Prime Minister, aimed to improve the recruitment and administration of government employees. Turk Judicature Act, 1873. Introduced during the same period, this act aimed to simplify and streamline the legal system in England and Wales by creating a single High Court of Justice. The Irish problem during the 19th century encompassed religious, economic, and political challenges in Ireland. Here's a concise overview of these aspects and the solutions pursued. Religious question. The religious divide between Protestant Unionists and Catholic nationalists was a significant issue. Unionists supported maintaining ties with Great Britain, while nationalists sought greater autonomy for Ireland. Economic problem. Economic hardships, land inequality, and agrarian issues contributed to tensions in Ireland. Many Irish tenants faced poor living conditions and lacked land ownership rights. Political problem. The question of Ireland's political status within the United Kingdom was a key concern. Nationalists called for self-governance, home rule, while Unionists aimed to preserve British rule. Efforts to solve the religious problem. The Disestablishment and Disendowment Act of 1869 aimed to address the religious issue by disestablishing the Protestant Church of Ireland. Solution to the economic problem. 1. First Irish Land Act, 1870. This act aimed to improve tenant-farmer conditions by introducing some rights and protections, including fair rent determinations. 2. Second Irish Land Act, 1881. Building on the first act, this legislation further enhanced tenant rights, providing mechanisms for rent reduction and greater security. Efforts to solve the political problem. 1. First Home Rule Bill, 1886. Proposed by William Gladstone, this bill sought to grant Ireland a limited form of self-governance within the UK. It was rejected in Parliament. 2. Second Home Rule Bill, 1893, also proposed by Gladstone, this revised bill aimed to grant Ireland greater self-governance. It passed in the House of Commons but was rejected by the House of Lords. The causes of William Gladstone's failure in his Irish policy can be attributed to various factors that hindered the success of his efforts to address the Irish question. Here's a concise overview of these causes. 1. Age factor. Gladstone's advanced age during his later attempts at Irish policy might have affected his energy, decision-making, and ability to navigate complex issues effectively. 2. Lack of diplomacy. His direct and firm approach might not have been well suited for the nuanced and intricate political landscape of Ireland, where diplomatic negotiations and compromise were necessary. Failure to grasp time's demands. The changing political dynamics and evolving demands of the time required a keen understanding of Ireland's complexities. Gladstone's policies might not have adequately responded to these evolving demands. 4. Impatience due to old age. Impatience or a sense of urgency due to his age might have influenced his approach, potentially leading to hastily crafted policies or decisions. 5. Strong Ulster opposition. The vehement opposition from Ulster Unionists, who were fervently against Irish Home Rule, created significant obstacles for Gladstone's policy implementation.